I know for a fact you know what Roblox is. Even my dog knows what Roblox is. But for a while, there was a time where I wasn't really interested in Roblox that much. But somehow, Roblox managed to pull me back in with one weird, mostly unknown little subgenre of games. Story games. And I don't mean your somewhat decent story games like Break-In, Field Trip Z, or even like Rainbow Friends. I'm talking about stuff like this.
All around me are familiar faces.
The thing about story games is that instead of being an actual, game, they're just stories made up of comic-style panels that are only technically games since they're made in the Roblox game engine. But now that I'm done telling you what story games are, let me tell you how I fell down the story game rabbit hole. Now it all started with a person named Willow. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. Willow here is the whole reason I got introduced to the story game genre in the first place. And after I first found the ending of their Barney story game series, I was never the same. So I think it's time to get into this Barney story game and see just what's going on. February 8th, 2020. 5 children last seen with giant purple dinosaur Barney Bonaguros are found dead soon after. And after being questioned by the authorities and pleading innocence, he shoots the authorities and hunts down any witnesses to the event as an accomplice, and is arrested soon after. April 8th, 2020. After being released from 4 months of jail, house cam footage shows us Barney coming home and leaving soon after his children ask for food. Later, his children are seen asking their presumed mother where Barney went, and after her responding saying he left because of his state of depression, she decides to eat the children. Okay. Later, the wife is seen chasing Barney in a fit of rage, and even when trying to hide in a nearby motel, she manages to find him. But thankfully, the person next door accidentally slams the door in her face when trying to ask him for some sugar. After that, the person next door, who has been identified as Peppa Pig, decides to invite Barney over to show him her family. It seems to go well until Barney manages to find the dead body of Daddy Pig, and mysteriously dies soon afterwards. Later, for reasons still unknown, Barney manages to come back to life as a zombie and attacks Peppa and the family. Sometime later, the news reports on Barney's mysterious reappearance. Now he's spreading this infectious zombie virus. Suddenly, the news reporter is attacked by a giant zombie Barney, but manages to be saved by local resident Elmo Sanchez, who has somehow obtained a chainsaw. The news broadcast ends soon after. Meanwhile, the Pig family is watching the broadcast, but shortly after, George decides to ask for a shotgun. Mummy Pig decides to throw him out the window because he, quote, needs some fresh air. George Pig was never seen again. Soon after, Peppa also decides to ask for a shotgun, and is also thrown out the window. She was also never seen again. But then, finally, news comes out of 2 new cures, one of which seems to be yodeling, for some reason. And now, thankfully, the day is saved. But don't click off just yet, we still got 2 series to talk about. But first, I want to take a slight detour to the 2 Obbies Willow here made. Don't get too excited though, there isn't much to talk about. They're pretty much just the Roblox Obby template, but one has all the models and textures swapped out with Barney, and the other has all the textures and models swapped out with... Oh god, my ears! Why did I play the game? Anyway, another thing I'd like to mention is that each game actually connects to all the others using game teleports. All the Barney episodes teleport you to their sequels, the finale teleports you to the Obbies, and the Obbies actually teleport you into the next part of this video. Ooh. For some reason, Willow here made an entire series about Teletubbies that are also alligators. And it's actually pretty good. The series stars all the main Teletubbies now as alligators and the weird baby son for some reason. But unlike the Barney series that had some resemblance of an ongoing plot, Alligator Teletubbies is more episodic. Each episode has the baby son trying to kill the Alligator Teletubbies in one way or another. Sharks, Kool-Aid Man, white people, etc. Until the finale where he tries just talking to them. But that also doesn't work. And then the series ends. Yeah, it kinda sucks. There are a lot of improvements from the Barney series, though, like the Alligator Teletubbies having custom models and the whole series being more enjoyable in general. But the lack of an ongoing story and the disappointing end bog it down a little bit. But wait, we still have one more series to talk about. And honestly, it's probably the worst one yet. Bob the Builder Goes on YouTube, which is also the worst title in existence, by the way, is about, well, Bob the Builder going on YouTube. Each episode is just Bob doing a different thing for a YouTube video, like eating a spicy pepper or meeting James Charles.
Oh God, not again!
Honestly, it's probably the most boring series Willow made. It also doesn't help that there's only 3 episodes. Pretty sure it's because this is probably around the time Willow's account got deleted. But hey, at least it ends with Bob falling to his death, so there's a plus. Willow here did end up making another account, but they don't really make story games anymore, which is kind of disappointing. Even though these stories were objectively bad, I still kind of love them nonetheless. And even though there's many other options of story games I could check out, none of them will have the same feel that Willow's had. So, even if these stories are bad, they'll always have a special little place in my heart. Also, this is the first time I've made a video like this, so if you like videos like this, then leave a comment or something. Or don't.